All righty, I'll share my screen and we will just kind of go through some of our ticketing features to start. First off, there are two ways to add online tickets. We looked at one in season management a couple days ago when we were going through that. So I'll go back to season management and I will find an event that doesn't have tickets. And as you're editing an event, there's an add tickets button or an add tickets option right here. So I'll click add tickets right here. And then you can do one of two things. One, you can choose to copy ticket information from a previous race night. So if you know it's all going to be the same, you can do it that way, or you can start from scratch. So I'll just show you what that process is here. It's pretty straightforward. You know, your name, your availabilities, those types of things. You know, if there's a pre-sale time, you can set a pre-sale time as well as a pre-sale price down at the bottom of the screen. There's a drop down so you can select what happens if the event is canceled, whether it to be rain checked or refunded. Then there's an option for a reserved seating map. At the present time, if you're doing anything with reserved seating, probably get in contact with somebody at My Race Pass to apply the map to the individual events that you need the map applied for. But then at the bottom of the screen for your general admission stuff, you can set your availabilities and prices down here as well. So, you know, adult GA, kids GA, all that type of stuff. There's like a ton of different ticket types that you can apply here. You basically set the number that you want to be available, the price, and then if you have a pre-sale time, the pre-sale price as well. So I'll just put 100 tickets here at $20 a piece, and I'll put 50 tickets here at $10 a piece, and those will be our tickets for that event. We can go ahead and add at that point. I'm not going to add because I want to add them via the other process, but that's basically the process of adding general admission tickets to any of your events. Really simple to do. So let me go back to the other April date that I have here that I have tickets available for. So in the event that your race is canceled or postponed or whatever, when you go to running as scheduled, when you go to mark it as rained out or postponed or canceled or whatever else, I'll mark this as rained out. This is where then you would have the option to migrate your tickets to another event. So if I can click the migrate tickets button here, if I have any ticket sales to this race, I can. If you want to refund the tickets, you can. But if you don't want to refund the tickets and you want to rain check them to another race, you can do that here. So you're basically just putting in the schedule date. So if I go like I think I did one 4/10. Yeah, 4/10/23. That will be the date that I would push them to. Then all of those tickets would be redeemable on that other date that you select. And then there's a checkbox here to unredeem all migrated tickets as well. So if your rain out actually happened after folks had showed up to the races, after you'd redeemed their tickets, you can unredeem, quote unquote, those tickets in this screen so that they can be scanned again at whatever race night you're selecting above. Then just press the migrate button and you're all set there. I'm going to uncancel this race. There we go. That's the first way to add online tickets. It's probably the simpler way to add online tickets, to be honest with you, through season management. We also have a ticket management area. So I'll click online tickets over here, and you can add tickets to your events this way as well. So if I click add tickets here, I can then just pick the date on my calendar that I want my tickets to be for. I'll have to look at my entire schedule here. And then I'm going to pick 4/10, I think. I can find that. 4/10. Perfect. And add that ticket to the date. So there's a little bit that's different in this interface, but it's mostly the same. Ticket name, the same way. The availability from, you get your date and time in there. Again, pre-sale options. Adding tickets this way does have an option for gates open and races start options if you want those things printed on the ticket. Otherwise, again, same thing. Checking rain check or refund in the event of a cancellation. And then you're just setting the number of tickets that you want available and all those types of things. If you put a -1 in this screen, it'll just sell an infinite number of tickets. It'll never sell out of that ticket type. So that's something to keep in mind. But otherwise, again, 500 tickets, $25 a piece. 100 tickets, $10 a piece. all of those types of things. And we can add tickets that way. So both of those things that I missed one. I selected a ticket type and then didn't put the price in there. So that will give you an error. So I can add tickets now. So both of those options, whether season management or race management, will allow you to add general admission style seats. So let me go to those events. And okay, how do I, one, refund those tickets if in the event of a cancellation, or two, claim the money if that race happened? So I'll go to my special event that I just created, and there's a get funds or full refunds option here. And whether you're doing general admission or reserved or any kind of ticket that you can sell through My Race Pass, this process is the same for claiming or refunding the money. So if I get funds or full refunds, it sends a code to the number that you have as the admin on that screen. So I can then send the code here. It sends the code out to whoever's the administrator. And then you type in the code that you received via text, and then you either enter complete or refund there. If you enter complete, obviously we'll ACH you the money. You'll receive that money in 2 to 3 days, depending on your bank. It'll direct deposit right to your bank account. There's no fee that's taken out of it on our end or anything like that. You just get that money. If you type refund here, it will refund the tickets to all of your ticket buyers, and we'll handle those mass refunds. So you don't have to do anything to make those refunds happen. We will do that. The way it works for a customer, and I'll show you this here for a customer, when they go to purchase tickets, this is that April 9th event that we looked at. They go to purchase tickets, and they'll basically add the ticket to their cart. You see the price here. They'll add the ticket to their cart, however many they want. I'll say we added 4 tickets, add to cart right there. And then you'll see that, and I've got a whole bunch of other stuff in my cart from earlier today, so I apologize for that. There we go. There's my 4 tickets added to my cart. So what you'll see is that for a $10 ticket, they're going to get charged a fee on top of it that comes to us, and then they're going to get charged a service fee that is a percentage of the total cost. So a $10 ticket, you're going to get all $10 of every ticket sold, and then they'll pay about $1.90 fee plus about 3 to 4%. So for $40 worth of tickets, they end up spending $49. So not a huge fee structure there, but for a $10 ticket, they'd end up paying about $12.50, $13. So you factor in about $2 to $3 worth of fees. But again, if you're charging $10 for your ticket, you'll receive all $10 for every ticket sold. That's how that would work for a general admission ticket in the cart. So again, pretty simple stuff there. And that's really all there is to see for general admission tickets specifically. Basically, everything else we look at will apply to general admission tickets or reserved tickets. So I'm going to start here with a couple of things across the top of the screen that you can look at for all of your tickets or on a per event basis as well. I'll start with ticket information, and this is where you can just set a custom track ticket policy. If you want that to be a rain out policy, if you want that to be, whatever kind of cancellation, anything like that, you can set your own, you can set your own information there for that. Let's see. For refunds, how long until the attendee would see the credit back on their credit card? It's the same process as ACHing the funds to you. It's still ACH. So, it'll probably be 2 to 3 days. We tell them 3 to 5 just to be safe. Second thing up here is a thank you message. This actually isn't an editable thing, but you can see the thank you message that they'll all see when they're going to after they purchase their tickets. And then there's a coupon option here as well. We call it coupons, but really it's just an image you can place on the tickets. So if you want that to be $1 off Pepsi Max, you can tell that's an old photo because Pepsi Max. But $1 off that or $10 off or whatever, that you can do whatever you want there. If you want that to be 50% off oil changes to Bob's Garage if they're a track sponsor, or if you want that to be literally image of your track logo to give yourself more branding on the tickets. You can do literally whatever you want there in that coupon option. We call it a coupon, but use it for whatever you'd like. So I'll go back to that event here. I did what, 4.9? There we go. So a couple of other things here. There's a sold tickets option, and I'll click on that in a second. First, I want to show you the share this option. There is a share this right here, so you can share your ticket links directly to social media with that button, Facebook or Twitter. Make it easier for fans to see it on social media. Then there's the sold tickets view. Obviously, I haven't sold any tickets to this event, so there's nothing in this view for me there. Actually, I know that there's an event that I have sold, that I have a couple of sales for. So let me see if I can find that. I think it's that one. Yeah, sold tickets. There we go. So they're all me through a point of sale system, but you can still get an idea of what this screen looks like. So it'll show you all of your ticket buyers. If they purchased it through the point of sale system, it'll show there as well, the price they paid, the invoice number, all of those types of things. You can, for tickets that are not sold through a POS system, you would see a checkbox to the left of the name. So if you check the tickets, you can issue an individual refund that way if you want to refund someone individually before the event. Now, that's completely up to your policy. There's nothing My Race Pass says that says if somebody asks for a refund, you have to give it to them. That's up to your discretion if you want to do it or not. Otherwise, there's reports that you can print. One of them is a ticket report. So it'll literally just show you your ticket buyers, again, the price, the invoice number, and then based off of the types of tickets that you've sold, the sales that you got for each ticket type would show in that report. And you can also filter that between which ticket type you have. There is also an option there for a box office report to show you all of the ticket sales that you've gotten via the front gate point of sale system, which I'll show you. And then there's also one other that's called the customer report. And this is literally just going to give you customer information, the name, the address, the email address of that person, all of those types of things would live in that customer report. So those types of things are available there. So again, I got there by going to the customers report here or finding an individual event and clicking sold tickets. You can also get there just by clicking customers on the tab list on the left and then typing in the date of the event that you want to reference. So again, works exactly the same way, brings you to the same information. Next thing I'll show you is this analytics screen. Analytics is going to give you a ton of demographic information for your ticket sales. I use this quite a bit, to be honest with you. For my demo racetrack, I'm going to go way back in time to capture as much data as I can. But you can filter that date range to whatever you want it to be. And I went too far. I went too far in the date range. Okay, let's just do this. That should work. Nope, I went too far again. There we go. Okay. There's also quick searches for last week, last month, the year, all that kind of stuff. But you're basically going to see this type of information. So first off, you're going to start to see heat map, which will give you a good visual indication of where your customers are coming from. So our fake racetrack that exists west of Omaha, obviously, are only people that are buying anything are employees. So you can see where we live on that heat map. Top cities is in here as well. And this really, to me, when you start to see the municipalities here based off of the zip code when they buy, this tells me where I should be offering my newspaper, radio, billboard advertising. Where are my customers located? That's what this is telling you. So, that can be super valuable. Distance is in here as well. How far are your customers traveling on average in terms of your online ticket buyers? Purchase dates. How far in advance are people buying tickets? Purchase prices, purchase types. So what kinds of tickets are they buying? There's gender and age demographic information in here as well. And then there's a tickets sold by event option as well. So you can see for each event that you have, how many ticket buyers you've got, all of those types of things. So 1225, I had a bunch of ticket buyers. So if I come down here for 1225, I can then see the event analytics. So the same analytics screen. For each individual event that you've got, and also the ticket holders report for that specific event as well. So you can garner that information. I can't emphasize again enough the ticket holders information on an event specific basis, especially if you're doing some kind of special event. You can have that special event out there. You can monitor everybody who's bought tickets to that kind of special event. And so if you're doing like a monster truck show or a sprint car show or something like that where you don't normally run, you're going to have different demographics of fans buying tickets to that race. So the next year, the same type of event rolls around, you're doing the same thing. And then now I can take the ticket holders, their email addresses, put it into a MailChimp or a Constant Contact or something like that. And you can send an email to the people who are interested in that specific type of event. That makes it super simple and efficient for you to market yourself directly to those customers. There's also a report that you can run for the ticket buyers for the entire range that you have selected here. And so that's a lot of stuff to show you there. One thing that I will tell you is that basically everything else in here is going to have a lot to do with our reserved ticketing stuff, our advanced ticketing features, we call it. Some information on that. There is no extra cost to get access to the advanced ticketing features. If you want to do reserve tickets, there's like a one-time refundable deposit, just so we don't put all the development time into building the map and then it not go anywhere. But as soon as the map is built, that deposit is refunded. So in the end, it's a wash. You have access to all of these things with any My Race Pass subscription for race management. So I'll move forward there. The pass list option comes into play for a reserve ticketing map. So I can go to pass lists. I can create a pass list. I can apply that pass list to one event or multiple. And it's basically a way to block out a spot on your map. So if I go to like this July weekend that I've got here, I blocked off section C, row 6, seat 10 for those July weekend dates. So if I go to the July weekend dates, that's what I've got here. What did I 6? Row 6, seat 10. There we go. Perfect. So it blocks off those seats so that you can use it as a comp list, or you can build that out for your season ticket holders or something like that. All those types of things. Jake, I haven't gotten last night's uploaded to YouTube yet, but it should be tomorrow. So you should see that tomorrow. So that's what that pass list is kind of used for, is to block out seats to either one or multiple events. Pretty easy to add a ticket holder, add their email address, add their name, section, row, and seat that you want to block out. You can add multiple, all of those types of things, and it works just fine for all of that. Last option here is the ticket maps. There you can preview any of your ticket maps so you can see what they look like in a siloed, not live environment if you want. But I strongly suggest that you don't make any changes to these ticket maps. They're still really in the early stages of how they get built. And so we want to make all of those changes here. So don't go editing ticket maps. We will make that happen on our end over here. So reserve ticketing, how does that work for a ticket buyer? So if I'm a ticket buyer, I went to the July 4th weekend. So July 3rd, I'm going to buy this ticket. Really, it's very simple for them. We have an example that includes pit stalls, camping spots, and premium seats, and reserve seats and general admission seats. So it works really simple. If you have a section that's general admission, I can click on a general admission area. I've got a general admission seat in there. If you click on a section that's reserved, works the same way. I can buy 3 reserve seats, and we're good to go. Click next through that. The process of checking out is exactly the same. I've got my $25 each, my $1.90 service charge. Typically, it's $1.90. I'm not sure why it's showing $2 right now at your favorite track. It's typically $1.90. And then my percentage that goes on top of that. So for $75 worth of tickets, I'm paying approximately $10 more in fees. But really simple stuff there. So adding tickets to your cart from a reserve standpoint is super easy. But then the next question becomes, if I'm adding tickets to my cart, what if I show up day of the race? How do I, day of the race, know which tickets are sold, which seats are sold, which are available, which aren't available, those types of things? So we've developed this front gate point of sale system, call it a box office system, and it allows you to do that. So when you go to the current event option, it'll just bring you to the next event on your schedule. For me, it's that general admission night. So I just add the general admission tickets to my cart, check out, all works just fine there. But you can go to all tickets, and you can search for which tickets you'd like to sell for that individual night. I will select July 3rd. I will say, all right, they want to sit in section B. They want to sit in these 3 spots. And next. At this point, you have the option to gather their email address. If you want to start gathering customer data at the front gate, you have the option of putting in the zip code. I obviously encourage that because you want to have as much of your customer data as you possibly can. But if you don't want that stuff, you can just type in, how they paid, cash, credit card, check, whatever, paid in cash, complete order. When you complete order, brings up a print preview screen, and you can print these tickets off. I have a Dymo label writer printer that I encourage folks to use. I have a special ticket type of paper that I encourage folks to use. So at this point, all I have to do is click the print button because my settings are good night to night. Tickets are printed, ready to rock and roll. Rip them off the printer, hand them to the customer. They can go where they get scanned in or marked off or ticket ripped in half or whatever, however you do that. So that's, buying those front gate tickets, pretty simple process. There will be some kind of per ticket fee for the point of sale system on a per ticket basis. I think, and Ross can correct me if I'm out of line here, but I think it's going to be 10 cents. I don't think that's completely set in stone yet, but at some point that will be applied, although we don't know for sure when that is. A lot of these are still very new features. Okay, now I'm going to start showing you features that don't exist yet technically, but if you want to be a beta tester for those features, to be the first one to have access to them, you absolutely can. Dakota's here too. I didn't know he was showing up. Dakota, what's up, man?
Just before you go too much further and you're at a good stopping point, there is a message a little ways up in the chat from Cameron.
Oh,
just bringing up the question that'll be coming up in a little bit for you, if you want to read through that.
Yes. So at the end of our session, email callie@wissota.org, your name, the racetrack that you're with, and then a question. So they're going to post a question in here. The answer will be posted at the end. So take that answer, put it alongside your name and your track. Email that to callie@wissota.org so that you can get WISSOTA credit for attending the webinars. And also, if you're watching the recording on YouTube and didn't do that the night of, you can also still do that. I think that suffices. All right. What was I doing? The multi-day passes. Yeah. So again, beta testing mode with this particular feature. Let me get to where I was. Where was I? Did I close out of that? That was dumb. Beta testing mode feature, but we want folks to buy into this option. If you want, so if you're running a multi-day event, you're running a 2-night show, a 3-night show, whatever, and you want to have a ticket package, this is a brand new feature that we just put in. So when I go to my tickets page, now for that, there's 3 nights that I've got in there in December, right? 29, 30, 31. So I can scroll down here and I can buy those nights individually. But I also created a ticket package. Get package here. And so now 3 nights in the ticket package, I go and pick a spot in my map. So I'm going to buy 4 tickets. And now instead of buying 1 ticket, I'm buying all 3 nights in that ticket package. So I've got 4 ticket packages in my cart. If you have a multi-day show, you want to do reserve seating, and you want to sell a ticket package like this, let us know. We're still testing this type of stuff, but we want to do that. I mean, we want to put that in place for you. Second thing that we've got out there that we want to do is we want to do a promo code on an event-specific basis. Meaning, if you've got like some kind of buy one, get one half off, or buy 2 adult tickets, get a kid's ticket free, or some kind of promo on a single event basis to where you can buy certain number of tickets and then other ticket types will be at a reduced or a discount or whatever, let us know. We want to put that in place as well. I don't actually have an example on your favorite track of that, but I think it's pretty easily understood. So let me get out of here. and show you two other new things that, I mean, literally nobody is using yet. So like you're seeing this, the folks in the afternoon saw it first, but you're seeing it second. Go back to your favorite track. Go to tickets. Season passes. So a season pass, you can put a number of events, select which events are eligible for that season pass, and then now someone can buy a ticket that can be scanned multiple times, once per event, at whatever event you want to be that season pass. So basically, I buy a season pass. It's good for 11 events. Now I can bring that barcode, and that barcode can be scanned once at each event. So it can be scanned a total of 11 times, but only once per event. We also have a punch card option here. And there's a, it's called a punch card. I'm not in love with the name, but I'll tell you the functionality, and you can decide if punch card's the right name for it. Again, it's brand new, so first thought, best thought on the name. We have now an option for a punch card, which will be basically you would set which events are eligible for the punch card, and then you would set the number of scans for that barcode that can be used at any of those events. So you have some sponsor that you want to give 20 free tickets to for that night. You would put in the punch card, email them that ticket for the punch card. That can then be duplicated for their employees or whatever, and you can scan that punch card 20 times at one race, or 20 times over the course of 4 races, or however you want to do that. Again, it's not technically a punch card. It's just a barcode that you can scan a number of times, but we have that functionality. No one is using the season passes or punch cards yet. They're like literally a week old. They're in their infancy. But if you want to be one of the beta testers for those features, whether it be season pass, punch card, multi-day ticket packages, or single event promos, we have done so much with online tickets over the course of the last couple of months, and we're really excited to start to announce some of these new features. You'll more than likely see this employed at WISSOTA 100. You'll probably see, like, for front gate tickets, a 5-day pass, a 4-day pass, a 3-day pass, a 2-day pass, and then single night tickets. So, you'll probably see that example at that point. But a lot of stuff that you can do here, that you can see here, and we're excited to share it. Did I do the point of sale system yet? Yes, I think I did. Are there any other questions on tickets before we move forward to websites? I know that was a whole ton of information in a half hour. General admission stuff is not changed at all, but the reserve stuff. How do you replace a punch card if the spectator loses it? It's a barcode that they would have access to via email if you sent them the email, or in their app if you sent it to their app, if you sent it to that email address. So they could log into their email and get it again, or they could log into the MyRacePass app or their MyRacePass account on desktop and go back and get it. So like I could log in austin.lloyd@myracepass.com, go to my past orders, and get the punch card again that way. Yes. And one of the things that isn't done yet, but we have an idea to do, is to have some kind of interface on their profile to where they can see how many scans or punches they have left. So they know how many they've used, how many they have left, those types of things. Cool. All right. That's enough with tickets. Let's do websites. So I'll jump into your favorite tracks website. Obviously fake website that we don't do anything with. But it shows you all of the features of a typical website. So this home tab, first place you'd come to, it will basically just gives you a bunch of information that you would set in other places, right? So if I have tickets available, the buy tickets button is up here. I'm not placing it there manually. Same thing with registration. I have a driver registration button here. I'm not placing it there manually. Based off of the information that I put in the news tab, the latest news options show on the front page of the website. Same with photos, same with videos, same with your Facebook page. These are just snapshots of other areas of the program. So while the home page is probably most important in terms of aesthetics, you really don't do anything here. So I'll jump over to schedule results. You don't do anything here either because you use My Race Pass in season management to create your schedule. Your schedule's done. Because you use My Race Pass to score your races on race night, the results will come in for every single one of your events. Kind of crazy to see results for a future event, but don't score future events before that. So when I go to points, again, same thing for points. Because you're using My Race Pass to score your races and you calculate points at the end of the night, the points page is done. So 3 of the 4 most high trafficked areas of a website you will never have to do because you're using My Race Pass, because it's all automated, which obviously makes things really simple and easy. So I'll jump ahead to fan info, driver info, and about. It's all basically the same. We call them super pages. Really, they're just custom built pages. So if I go to fan info and camping, you can see there's a bunch of content in here. On the admin side, when I go to web management, all of our super pages, which again are just custom pages, live under the More tab. So you can go there. What did I have? Fan info and camping selected. There's all the data that I put in there. You can add, you can remove, you can edit. This is all infinitely customizable based off of what you want. So we set it up in the correct formatting on the front end of your website, but it all exists here. If you want to add a new section, you can. Section heading looks like this up top. Simple paragraph looks like this down here. Page list down here on the bottom, just bullet points. You can add a file download. You can add an image gallery or an individual media item, whatever you want to do. All exists right there. So let's see. I know I have an example here. If I go to, I think it's in driver info of a rules page. Yeah. So there we go for rules. So again, more. I've got rules under miscellaneous pages. And there's a file download. So puts the PDF on the front end of the website, the rules download. I can edit the PDF, remove. I can upload new, apply whatever uploaded files that I've got to add them, do all those types of things. So that's how a file download works. Really simple, really easy, all that kind of thing. You can add different categories here as well. So I've got like a category for rules already. I've got a category for rules supers that I don't actually have any content in, but all that kind of stuff. So you can have different rules, different categories to all show on the front end of the website like this. When I go to about, there's a couple of things that I'll show you here. First one being the sponsors page. Sponsors page, we do this stuff. You just have to send me the, let's see here, a link to a WISSOTA page instead of the actual rules. Yeah, that's no problem. When you come here, instead of having this be a file download, at that point, I would just add a section for, let's see, I would just add it as a super page. Like if I go to driver info, at that point, you can just add a section for section heading and then link to WISSOTA and then have the actual link right here and save. And then it will be a link to WISSOTA's page for the rules. You can do that for sure. But again, sponsors page, send us the image, send us the link that lives behind the image. And then we can put it in here, make it look nice like it's supposed to and orderly and all that stuff. It also affects the scroll that runs across the bottom or top of your website or the side, depending on what kind of website you have with us. We also have Google Analytics on this screen, so you can start presenting your marketing partners with data, showing them, here's how many times your image has been looked at. Here's how many times your actual logo has been clicked on. So you can start to tell people, hey, this is how many times I've delivered a customer to your front door. Because the best thing you can do is you could, you get a customer to their website. Everything after that's up to them. The most they can ask from you is to get a customer to your website. Hey, I got somebody knocking on your front door because they visited my website. You want to start presenting them with that data? That's data that nobody else can present to them. They go to a newspaper, they go to a radio station, and yeah, I mean, the radio station could tell them how many people were listening that day, but it definitely can't tell them how many people visited their website because they listened that day. So this is really valuable information for that reason. The other thing about that I'll tell you is the contact area. There's really 2 sections to a contact page, and I'll show you both here when we go to contact on the admin side. There is a general contact area, and there is a form subjects area. So general contact, again, name, phone number, address information, website, email, all those types of things. And on the website, it shows above the fold right here. General contact stuff, whatever you got in there is there. The bottom half of the page is a form that people fill out to generate an email to you. So I will go to form subjects here. And what you'll start doing here is you'll add email addresses to the left-hand side of the screen, contact name, contact email address, and save. And then based off the email addresses that you input, so if I put in my 2 email addresses, add a subject line for general inquiries and add. Now when somebody emails general inquiries, it will send an email to my email address. And that's how I'll know that somebody reached out via our contact page. So I can take some of those things off. You know, you can have whatever subject lines you want: general inquiries, marketing inquiries, merchandise, driver question, all that kind of stuff. So all those are right there. So you can add those. You can also view all of the messages that somebody has sent. So if anybody has emailed your page, obviously the email will go to who it's supposed to, but you can view all of the email messages in this screen as well. There's also one other screen to show. It's called staff members. So the staff members page, there's 2 networks now that I am aware of that use it. One of them being WISSOTA. So if I go to WISSOTA and I go to the staff members page, you can see information for all of the staff members, contact, all that kind of stuff. They also have a board of directors page, board members page. So if I go to the board members page, again, board member profiles there. So that's what that looks like. So if you want to use the staff members page for your tracker series, you absolutely can.
Thanks for pointing that out, Austin.
Yeah. Well, you encouraged it this afternoon, so I thought I would.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We had to get our pictures taken finally.
Yes. So if you have any questions, complaints, inquiries, or negative feedback for WISSOTA, the board members page is here for you to reach out to. Next tab here that I'll show you is media. There's really only news, photos, and videos here. I genuinely prefer news to be its own tab. It's probably the other thing that drives as much traffic to your website as anything. You want to be driving website traffic. You don't want to have your press releases on Facebook. You don't want to pretend just because you put information on Facebook that means everybody can see it. Your website is your online phone book. Your website's where people are going to go to find information on you. Look, if you search somebody out on Facebook to find their schedule and you get through 4 or 5 posts before you see it, you're probably going to give up. If I'm going to Facebook to look for something about a website, it's probably, or to look for something about a track, it's probably to find the link to their website. You want to have all of your information on your website. News articles are the most efficient way to drive traffic to your website. So if I go to news over here, I can either go to news at the top of the screen in web management, or on the side of the screen, we've got it here as well. A couple of things that you can do here. One, you can find news, right? So I'll find news. And actually, I'm going to use WISSOTA 100 as an example for this as well, because a ton of people have written news articles about WISSOTA 100 and tagged WISSOTA 100 in it. So what happens is there's a pop-up when you go to your news tab, if somebody's written an article and tagged you in it, where you can select the article and decide, okay, do I want these to be added to my profile or website, or do I want these to be dismissed from my profile or website? Now, all of these are written about WISSOTA 100 because they're all shared from WISSOTA.org. They're all on WISSOTA.org as 2 different profiles. But that's how it would work for your track. If I'm a driver, if I'm a series, I'm racing with you that week, I write a preview article about my event, I tag your track in it, that news article can be on your track website. Same thing works in reverse. You're a track, you write a news article, you tag a series or a driver, they'll then have the option to add your press clipping to their website. So I'm your favorite track. I know Kyle Busch is racing at my racetrack this weekend. I tag him in it. If he's got an MRP site, he can add that to his MRP site or public profile or the app or wherever. Writing a new news article, fairly straightforward. I'll add news. A couple of things you'll see here. You add a heading. You add an article credit if you want, not required. You can add an article credit. You can date it, and you put your body in here. Please don't write your news article here. Please put it into a word processor like Microsoft Word or whatever the Apple equivalent is or whatever, and then copy and paste it here. Put it something that's not web-based. The reason for that is if you're writing your news article at the racetrack and it's late at night and they shut the power off and you just lost internet, now you've lost what you've worked on. So put it in Word, copy and paste it here, and then publish it. It's better that way. Also, when you do a news article, you can add media items here. You have to have at least one media item. So click to add media, and you can either upload something new or choose something from all of the previous media items that you've got, whether they're on your website or just in the miscellaneous area, which we'll look at in a little bit. And then you can tag the article, tag the drivers. If you're, writing about the top 5 in the late model feature, tag the top 5 late model drivers, tag the series that's there, tag the event. That way, when I go to the schedule page and I click on an event, the news article that anybody's written about that event shows on that news article. All those types of things. Then you can publish. So there's a preview button and then a publish button. If you publish it right away, everybody who's favorited your racetrack in the app will get a push notification on their device that you have a news article out. It's kind of how news works. If I go back and look at a previously created news article, what you'll find is you can edit all of those things that we just talked about. Edit the media, edit the body, edit the tags. You can also share this, and you can start to see where your views are coming from. So you got 87 views from Sprint Source, My Race Pass, from your favorite track, those types of things. So you can see all that kind of stuff. So pretty straightforward there. Next thing then is photos and videos. So we'll take a look at our photos area. It's under media. There's photos. So the first page you come to is all about galleries. Galleries are just basically house photos. So if I click on photos, I've got 4 different galleries here. So if I go to your favorite track, it looks like I've got 4 different galleries that are active. You can click into a gallery to view all of the photos inside of it. You can add new photos if need be. You can upload new to a gallery. You can select the photos that you've got and add to a different gallery or remove from this gallery. You can reorder your photos. So if green has to come before blue or whatever, just drag and drop. Add captions, which I recommend to do. And really that's fairly important. Please add captions to your photos. The reason for that is if a visually impaired person comes to your photos and they're using a screen reader, you want that screen reader to be able to give them some kind of content where that photo lives on the website. So add captions. You can delete a gallery. You can do a lot of different things that way. All that kind of stuff is there. So if I'm adding a new photo, I can upload new, tag it however I want, select file to upload, and add. When I add a photo, I can either make it a part of an individual gallery or I can make it a part of this miscellaneous area. This miscellaneous area will house photos that don't appear on the front end of the website, but will be housed here for future use in news articles if you want to do that. So those are options that you've got available as well. Videos, you'll find the interface is exactly the same. So I won't go through all of it, but I will say when you're adding a video, there's one key difference, and that's when you're uploading new. Instead of a local upload from your machine, you're now putting in a name, a description, and a link from a YouTube or a Vimeo, or it has to be hosted online somewhere, basically, just for, database size questions. You have to be hosted online. But that's really the only difference between photos and videos. Last thing in here is store. I'm not going to go over the store in the formal training, just because everyone's store page ends up being a little bit unique. So we like to set a lot of those up on a case-by-case basis. So if you've got your own items that you are going to sell for your racetrack, like your own t-shirts, your own hats, your own whatever, you want to set up a store, get a hold of us. We'll help you set up a store on your website. That's really all I have to show regarding websites. That's a lot of that information here. I'll default to Ross, Dakota. Is there anything else that you feel we should bring up that was missed?
I don't have anything, Austin. I think you covered all that really well.
No, I don't have anything either. I think everything's in pretty good shape there.
Cool. In that case, I'll open it up for questions. Got a few minutes here before we close our final session of the WISSOTA week. There we go. What are the 4 reward programs through My Race Pass to save your track money? That's the question that you need to answer. So I will bring it up on my screen to give you all a cheat sheet. And rewards. So we covered these rewards buckets the other day. That's the answer. So when you email Callie, email first name, last name, track you're with, and then these 4 things. And that's what you need to do. But does anybody have any questions on website stuff beyond that or anything else in My Race Pass before we wrap up here?